For any teacher, a formal observation from your principal, it can be one of the most high-stakes, nerve-wracking moments of the whole year. It's this tiny snapshot of your teaching, and it gets measured against this really rigorous set of standards. Well, today, we're going to break down one of those moments, a kindergarten writing lesson that didn't just meet expectations, it totally shattered them. We're going to peek inside an official observation report to see what excellence really looks like in the classroom.
So that gets us to the big question, right? We hear these buzzwords in education all the time, words like innovating or exemplary. But what do they actually mean? What are the specific things a teacher does? What does the classroom feel like that takes them from just being good to being a true innovator? Let's find out.
Okay, so check this out. This is what's so incredible. The expected performance, what's considered a really solid job, is applying, which is a level 3. But in this one lesson, across 3 separate, really important California teaching standards, the principal rated this teacher's performance as innovating, a level 5. That's the highest score you can possibly get. I mean, this isn't just a small step up, it's a massive 2-level leap. So, how on earth did she do it? All right, let's start digging in. First up is Standard 1, engaging and supporting all students in learning. And this is the absolute foundation, because let's be real, if the kids aren't hooked, nothing else you do is going to matter. So what are we really talking about here with this standard? In simple terms, it's about really knowing your students. It's about connecting the lesson to their lives and their interests, using a whole bunch of different strategies to meet all their different needs, and constantly checking in to see if they're actually getting it. This teacher didn't just check off some boxes. She wove all of this into the very fabric of her lesson. And this is how she did it. It's just brilliant. Instead of starting with some dry, abstract concept like dialogue, she connected it to characters every single kindergartner knows and loves. Mo Willems's Piggy and Gerald. By framing the goal this way, she instantly made it relevant. The lesson wasn't about punctuation, it was about helping their favorite book characters talk to each other. How cool is that?
And she knew one size doesn't fit all, so she came prepared with a whole toolkit of strategies. For kids who learn by listening, she used think-alouds and partner chats. For the movers and shakers, she used something called total physical response, using your body to learn, like the stretchy snake technique, where they literally stretch out a word to sound it out. And for the visual learners, she had charts and examples right from the books. This way, everybody had a door into the lesson.
But here's the kicker. How did she know it was all working? With this, a simple but incredibly powerful checklist. While the kids were working, she was walking around just making these quick little notes on each kid's progress. This wasn't some high-stakes test. It was her way of gathering data in real time. It let her see right in that moment who needed a little more help and who was ready for a challenge. And that kind of constant, quiet monitoring, that is what innovating looks like. Okay, so let's move on to the second standard, because a lesson this amazing can't happen in just any old room. It needs the right environment. The classroom atmosphere itself has to be part of the teaching. This standard is all about the vibe of the classroom. Is it physically, intellectually, and emotionally safe? It covers everything from making sure kids are respectful to each other to having those smooth routines and procedures that make a classroom just work. It's about building a space where every single kid feels comfortable enough to learn. I mean, the principal summary just nails it. These 4 words right here, safe, inclusive, predictable, and joyful, they are the absolute pillars of an incredible learning environment. It wasn't just one of them. It was the powerful combination of all 4 that made this a place where kids felt like they could take chances and try new things. So what does predictable actually look like in a kindergarten classroom? Well, check this out. A simple, consistent call and response. The teacher says writer, and the whole class replies, ready. In 2 seconds, this tiny little routine gets everyone focused and builds that sense of community. It's so much more efficient and effective than trying to get everyone's attention over and over. And then you get the joyful part, which I just love. This observation happened in November, right? So to get the kids to move from one activity to the next, the teacher used a Thanksgiving-themed gobble-gobble call. It seems like a small detail, but it shows how she infused this warmth and playfulness into even the most boring parts of the day, like just moving from the rug to their desks. That's how you build a positive culture. All right, time for our third and final standard, and this one is all about the intellectual architecture of the lesson. Because, having engaged kids in a joyful classroom is fantastic, but it all has to be in service of a really clear academic goal. This is all about masterful lesson design. So, Standard 3 is all about knowing your subject, inside and out. But just as important, it's about knowing how to organize it and present it so that these little 5-year-old brains can actually understand it. It's about taking these big, complex ideas and making them totally accessible.
Just look at how intentional this is. Nothing in this lesson was an accident. The teacher followed this crystal clear, logical sequence where every step built perfectly on the one before it. She started with the what, connected to the book for the why, modeled the how, and then gave them tons of time to practice. It's such a tight structure, it ensures that the students were never lost. They were always being guided right towards that finish line.
And here's where you see the real mastery. This wasn't just a writing lesson. The principal pointed out how she seamlessly woven all these other early literacy skills. Yeah, the kids were practicing writing, for sure, but they were also working on their speaking skills, their phonics with the stretchy snate, and even analyzing a text by studying Mo Willems' work. It just shows such a deep understanding of how all these skills connect.
Okay, so let's zoom out. We've pulled this lesson apart across 3 different teaching standards. What's the big picture here? What can we all learn from this absolute masterclass in kindergarten teaching? So, in the end, getting that innovating score, it's not some kind of magic trick. It's about deliberately combining all these core pieces. It's having that deep knowledge of your subject and mixing it with joyful routines that make kids feel safe enough to try. It's connecting to what they already love while you're constantly, quietly checking their progress so nobody gets left behind. Excellence is a system where all these well-executed parts just lock together. And that really leaves us with one big question, right? We've just seen a clear blueprint for what exceptional teaching looks like, on paper and in the classroom. This proves it's possible. So the question for all of us, for parents, for school leaders, for everyone, is how do we build systems that actually support, train, and empower more teachers to reach this incredible level of innovation in their own classrooms?